Welcome back to Asians and Caucasians, Episode 3 from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Let's hear it, everybody.
Yes, sir. Woo! Here we go. Episode 3, baby.
Asians and Caucasians is an all-inclusive weekly podcast that digs into real-life issues and topics faced in today's world. It does change who's in this room, and today we have 2 Asians, 1 Caucasian. We have Mr. R&B.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Yo. Come check us out.
And along with Mr. R&B, we have Fonzie.
Hey, what's up?
Funzy.
And I am P-rizz. This week, it is Asians and Caucasians on location from Prohibition Spirits and Cigar Lounge, 159 North Broadway in downtown Green Bay. Here at Prohibition, you will find drinks, fine cigars, and good friends at Prohibition. You can enjoy a smoke and drink with friends, and featuring some of the best bourbons, scotches, rums, tequilas, gins, and cognacs that you can find. Also at Prohibition, it features the best humidor in Green Bay and Northeast Wisconsin. Prohibition Sports and Cigar Lounge, 159 North Broadway, located in the hearth of the Broadway district in downtown Green Bay, and we certainly thank the fine folks here at Prohibition Spirits and Cigar Lounge for hosting us this week. As you know, normally we are broadcasting from the Urban Cultural Arts and Events Center in Green Bay, but this week we are taking it on the road. And as we take our show on the road this week, we are in the heart of Green Bay, and we're still reeling from yesterday's 25-22 loss to the Atlanta Falcons. Actually, it's 25-24.
Yeah,
okay.
25-24.
Talk to me. What did we like? What did we not like about the Pack?
That last fourth quarter.
Yeah, the fourth quarter sucked.
The last 10, 20 seconds.
No, the whole fourth quarter. They couldn't score, couldn't move the
catch.
ball.
They couldn't do shit, dude. That was fucking dumb, dude.
That stupid quarterback fake or sneak that didn't work out.
I almost didn't even do my job. I was at Red Bull listening to this shit.
Well, Jordan Love had 3 really great quarters of football. He was finished the game 14-25 for 151 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions.
There we go.
Not bad for his second official start at the helm of the Green Bay Packers. And first of all, let's talk about the pressure. You're following in the footsteps of not only Brett Favre, but Aaron Rodgers. And for Jordan Love to have 2 great showings back-to-back weeks has got to be pretty encouraging for Packers fans.
Yeah.
It is good. He was good for the first 3 quarters, but you got to close it out. But again, it's not all on him, too.
Yeah, it's...
you out there for so many plays for 3 hours, you're going to make mistakes. So it happens, but, I mean, you're getting paid millions to not make mistakes.
And I think it is safe to say, though, that Jordan Love, nobody needs to put pressure on Jordan Love.
Nope,
Jordan Love
definitely
knows the pressure that he faces.
Definitely.
And they don't need the fans like us or people from around the league mentioning that, hey, you got big shoes to fill. I mean, he certainly knows. And boy, what a stellar job he's done thus far.
Yep, he did one hell of a job, man. But
Yeah, I'd rather have him than any other quarterbacks in our freaking division.
Right. And the run game, at times had its moments, but A.J. Dillon had 55 yards rushing, no TDs. Jordan Love was second on the team in rushing with 2 carries for 23 yards, and Emmanuel Wilson 3 for 5, and Patrick Taylor Jr. 1 for 1. So not really.
Aaron Jones was out, that's why.
Right. And Christian Watson was out with injury, too.
Oh, Watson was out too?
He was.
What's wrong with him?
I think he's dealing with a hammy.
Oh.
Yeah, he's been out for 2
Jones,
games now.
I saw Jones was out too. I was like, well, you got all the rookies in there too.
Right.
Yeah, he threw all the rookies in that motherfucker.
Many years we heard Mike McCarthy and former Packers coaches talking about, it's really the NFL football and football in general is really about the next man up.
Yep.
And, injuries are going to happen. It is simply a part of the game, and you have to play with the personnel you have available. So
Definitely.
Christian Watson out certainly hurts. But what about Jaden Reed, the second-round pick out of Michigan State?
Oh, yeah, he definitely
2
stepped
touchdowns.
up. 2 touchdowns. That's good.
That boy can run though. He can run.
And, we talked about Jordan Love, replacing Aaron Rodgers, who was traded to the Jets. But also Jaden Reed, who takes over at the helm for the role that Randall Cobb had played for many years.
Slot position.
And has really done a nice job stepping in. I mean, his second game, he's shown up on the field. I mean, that's
definitely
a second-round steal is what it's looking at.
Cobb, where did Cobb go?
Cobb went to the Jets as well.
Yeah, with Aaron Rodgers.
He went to the Jets too?
Yeah,
He sure did. So
Ain't
did
that
Alan Lazard.
Yeah.
Ain't that some shit, huh?
Well, it's a business, right?
Well, yeah, that's
and
what
Aaron Rodgers wanted people he was comfortable throwing the ball to. So when he went there, he's like, hey, I want these guys.
And Randall Cobb would be a nice mentor for the other receivers, along with Lazard, to really help install and get people familiar with Nathaniel Hackett's offensive scheme, which we know that Rodgers and Lazard and Cobb are all very familiar with.
Damn, that's already a good team right there.
That is, but Lazard's young and good, but Cobb, he's lost a few steps.
I think I think he should retire.
But
retire?
He's a good possession receiver, and granted, you know, Cobb is many years younger than I am. But as far as football years, sure, you know, when you get into your 30s, you know, the injuries and the wear and tear really do start to take their toll. But
that's what I was saying.
But from a mentor standpoint, though, you have Lazard and Cobb to really help some of those younger guys, and you know, the returning offensive rookie of the year, Garrett Wilson, who really had a nice game yesterday. But now you have Rodgers out, of course, with the Achilles tear, which was disheartening. And sure, we're fans of Rodgers. Sorry to see him go in a sense. I think it would be mixed, but at the same time, you never wish anybody ill will, let alone an Achilles tear, which was really disappointing to watch from a fan standpoint. But also can't imagine how difficult it was for Rodgers.
Yeah, you said you were watching the slow mo of it, and I actually pulled that video up. I'm like, what the.
It's, you know, but again, that's part of the game, and you cringe when you watch that. Yeah. But it really does kind of show, and thank gosh we don't have pictures to really show this. But if you do watch that, watch with caution, number one. But also you can see where it just kind of you can see where the injury occurred, and someone said they could almost see like the muscle kind of roll up into the top of his calf.
That's what I was looking at. Yeah,
it's a little graphic.
It looked crazy, but yeah, he got up like there was no issues though. And he literally like took it. Yeah.
Well, he didn't he stand up briefly and then sat back down.
He sat back down
with the obvious look of disappointment on his face. But those are excruciating injuries. I mean, I can't even imagine. I had a brother who ruptured and tore his Achilles last year, coaching football, and he was out for 8 months. He had one of those carts that you know those
the one knee ones.
Yeah, the knee cart. And
so that's what it's about.
Yeah,
I've been seeing a lot of people at Myers.
Sure, but you know that could work for somebody not only with an Achilles injury or with a foot injury, but maybe somebody who has a cast that you know we're coming up on winter, which I'm sure we're all very excited for. But you know that a cast in winter, especially if it's a plastic cast and not like the boot, that you can't get those wet.
Yeah,
that's crazy, dude.
But yeah, the
injury wasn't too bad. It's nothing compared to the old Joe Theismann LT. That was horrendous.
It absolutely was.
You think he's gonna? You think Rodgers is gonna? He's out. You think?
He's out. But
maybe a miracle might happen.
Well, I think he's playing a rehab and try to come back.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Sure, it's a 39-year-old individual though who's trying to make a quick comeback, and of course he's a professionally trained and professionally.
He's got all the money in the world for the best doctors and rehab.
And you know went on the Pat McAfee show, and had mentioned that don't rule him out for not making a return this year.
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's what I'm waiting for. I know he say that
he'll try to make it back if they can get into the playoffs. He said.
Yeah.
Right, and you know, do you bet against Rodgers? I don't necessarily think I would, especially on a football field.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I would.
Right, and remember years ago with the whole relax, you know, the Packers were in a losing skid, and he did the RELAX, relax.
Yeah.
But what it was is I really appreciated the confidence as a Packers fan hearing that from Rodgers, and sure enough, we ended up running the table. He said, don't be surprised we run the table, and what did they do? They ran the table.
Yep.
That's crazy, dude.
So, but horrible to see that injury. And, you know, you certainly wish the best for him in his recovery. And, you know, not only is he one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game, but also has proved to be a pretty intelligent guy off the field, too.
Oh, definitely. He's a smart guy.
And they're playing who? They're playing next week. They got the Saints.
Oh, Packers, yeah.
Saints?
Packers
Home
have the
game?
Saints. Yep,
First home game.
The home opener.
Yep,
Home
noon
opener.
on Sunday.
Right.
Holy crap, man. Well,
Right. There used to be a big joke about. Did you hear that they're not serving beer at Lambeau? And this is merely a joke, but I'm just going to preface by saying, did you hear they're not serving beer at Lambeau for the home opener? Yeah, because they lost the opener. Like it's a really poor attempt at a joke, and I do apologize to those listening at home.
Did you
Not
hear
all
about
jokes are winners.
the free beer? Free beer, was it the Rogers game?
Oh,
was
for
it?
that bar
Love?
in Milwaukee.
Yeah, there was a
Because-
post up about something like
Yeah,
that.
because like 15 minutes before the game starts, if you open a tab and the Jets lose,
Yeah, let me pull it
then the bar will pay for your tab. So what happened was a few people did that, and then right in the beginning of the game, Rogers went down. So everybody's like, oh yeah, they started like bringing up drinks. I mean, you couldn't do high-end liquor or
They were talking probably
Just
rail
booze.
drinks.
or pitchers. So people just started running up their tab, but then the Jets lost. So then they had to pay for their own tab because they thought the Jets were going to lose because Rogers went down. Blah blah
Jack's
blah.
American Pub
Yeah.
announced this Jet Lose You Win promotion 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Said offer to pay the bar's tab of all participating customers when the Jets and Rogers lose.
Mm-hmm.
Patrons face conditions include that Rogers had to start the game and their tabs had to be open for 15 minutes before kickoff.
And Xavier Gibson ran back
Yep. The winning
that
touchdown.
return in overtime
And
to
the
win.
Jets won. And then all those patrons had to pay for their huge ass tab. But the promotion stopped because Rogers had to start the game. So since Rogers is out for the season, that promotion is no longer going.
Right.
Oh, man.
But Xavier
guys-
Gibson, what a nice showing by that rookie on that return, though.
Yeah.
And disheartening for those who open those bar tabs, but you can never predict the future necessarily.
Yep.
Put 3 bottles on his tab. He'd be like, fuck.
So we're still reeling here in Green Bay, though. The Packers now on the season 1-1, heading into next week's season opener at Lambeau Field against the Saints. Hopefully, we'll have and it'll kind of be a we'll see what happens this week, particularly with the availability of Christian Watson, but also Aaron Jones.
Hopefully we'll have,
They're both coming back?
well,
Both
we'll
come-
see.
yeah?
It's hamstring is really iffy, and I think it's the best if you take it easy and take your time because you don't want to come back and rush it and then really pull it and then
That's
be out
Watson,
for a long
right?
time. Watson,
Watson.
yeah, Christian Watson.
Watson
Christian
and
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones have the same
Both
type
of
of
them?
injuries. I don't know if it's on the same
Oh,
leg,
man.
but yeah, and it happens, right? And
Yeah, it happens.
Football's a tough sport. It's a
Yeah.
punishing, violent sport, but it's the sport that we love watching on Sundays and Mondays and Thursdays.
Well, it's a young
Yeah.
team, so it gives other people a chance to step up and make their name. So,
Right, next man up football. We were talking about that right here.
Oh,
Lead this
definitely.
podcast. So, well, good. Well, what else is new? I know last week we were talking about dating, which was a continuation, Mr. R&B.
We had Chili.
Yes.
Chili was on the channel with us and looking and talking about from the woman's perspective of it, but
And mentioned that she's actually happily
happy.
not dating right now because she's just kind of taking a little break from the dating scene, but really kind of gave us a nice look into the female perspective of what it's like to be
I
dating
didn't
in
ask
Green
her.
Bay.
I was like, why do you want to be single though? Did she explain all that?
I don't think she wanted to be single, but I think she's happy in her life where
She
she's
just said, "Fuck it."
She said happily not looking.
yes.
Happily not looking.
So
So
meaning-
all the men are not gentlemen anymore. We're just a bunch
No,
of slobs.
I think she's in a good life. I mean, in a good spot in her life where she's happy with who she is, and she
Okay.
doesn't need another person in her life. So
Okay.
it'd be
That's
great if there's somebody there to complement it, but she's not actively searching, and
Yeah.
there's not like a piece or a hole missing in her life that needs to be filled.
Well,
That's
she
what I
gave-
think.
She gave her 2 cents. Pretty good though.
Right, and
So,
happiness
yeah.
comes from within. You
Yes,
can't really look
definitely.
for happiness within other people to fill that void. You need to be happy with yourself first. And talk about somebody who's self-aware. I think Chili really hit the nail on the head when she said, happily not dating, but just kind of working on myself right now. Not that she mentioned that she was working through anything in particular, but just I'm concentrating on myself, looking at my own happiness, and let the chips fall where they may.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's good.
Amen.
I totally believe in that. You have to work on yourself first, be happy with yourself, And if somebody else comes into your life, then that's great. Like I always tell everybody, it's your vibe that attracts your tribe. So be who you are, and then people who are meant to be in your life will come.
Amen.
Right, males and females, we've talked in the past about, sometimes you can just kind of sense somebody's energy just by being in the room with them, whether it's their smile, whether it's their confidence, whether it's their intelligence, whether it's a really cool shirt that they're wearing, right, Mr.
Yes.
R&B? Right, Fonzie?
Oh, definitely.
But everybody has a certain energy, and usually if it's a good energy, people can sense that. But people can also sense a negative energy as
Yes.
well. Would you agree?
Definitely.
But yeah, looking for others for validation in your life is not always the best answer, but to seek the happiness that you find through learning as much as you can about yourself, what it is that you need, your negotiables, your non-negotiables. We all have non-negotiables in life, but we also have things that we need, right?
Yes.
You gotta let life kick you in your ass once in a while. Go through all these trials and tribulations to really figure out, though.
That's
real
true.
shit, yeah.
And the sad thing is that life does not come with a manual.
No,
No,
it doesn't. That's the thing about life.
Yeah.
You take the test first, and then you learn the lesson afterwards.
Yeah.
Right, and the key is just not to make the same mistake twice.
Hopefully not.
Unless
make
you
them-
like it.
Yeah.
Right, but sometimes the lesson takes longer with individuals, and it's not a slam on the intelligence of a person, but sometimes you need to learn the lesson on several occasions as well. So, but we do. I must mention though, as we look around this wonderful facility, which is the Prohibition Spirits and Cigar Lounge here in the heart of downtown Green Bay in the Broadway district, the exposed brick in here, the wonderful lighting, and just the smell of
is a
cigars.
vibe.
Yeah,
this is a
we're
vibe, man.
and all three of us are actually puffing on a cigar of our choice. We got to go into what was deemed Green Bay's and Northeast Wisconsin's best humidor.
Best humid. Oh, that room, the cigar, the little glass room down there.
Yep, and it just keeps the tobacco products.
That's what they call it, a humidor.
A humidor.
Humidor.
Right, and a walk-in humidor. I've seen a humidor, like the little box that you can keep your cigars in, and what it does is it just maintains the integrity of the cigar or your tobacco products to the best of their abilities. But when you walk in there, it almost seemed like all of the moisture was kind of sucked out of the air. We heard little machines running.
That was weird.
Right,
Yeah.
and not really sure about how the humidor actually works, but I'm just like, boy, it's a little dry in here.
Well, the thing with because it's tobacco leaves, you want some moisture in there, but you don't want it to be too moist, because then that's where the mold builds up from bacteria. But if it gets too dry, then the flavor and everything from your cigar.
It's like you're smoking a reburn from the fucking ashtray at the old Kmart.
It's like you're just smoking paper. Right. That's what the humidor is for. It gives it a nice constant temperature for the cigar, so it stays fresh for the longest possible.
And one of the things I had is we went down and we got to meet with. Whoops, excuse me there. We, as we're throwing a lighter because I need to relight my cigar here, but we talked with one of the staff members here, Tim, who said he's been here about a week now. Really, really, really kind gentleman who took us into the humidor and let us kind of pick out from the amazing selection that they had. Of course, I went with more of a budget friendly, but I told him I didn't want something that smelled like something you buy from a gas station that just you're burning it and people are like, would you please put that out?
Some ditchweed.
But what it comes down to though is we've all smelled really bad cigars where you're just like, I appreciate the fact that you're smoking a cigar, but boy does that smell awful.
Yeah, it smells like you're burning a sock.
Definitely, dude.
Right.
It was in L.A. I remember this guy in L.A. We were on the pier. Santa Monica Pier. It was about probably 8:30. Sun was just going down. We see the dolphins come up, and then I'm like, God damn, what the fuck is that smell, dude? Dude, it stunk like shit. Like, I'm like, fuck, is that the air or what? And dude had a big ass fucking cigar, and it was fucking just nasty as fuck, dude. Yeah, I'm like, God damn. Like, everybody was like, what the fuck is that?
How many times can you mention the F word
As
in the
many as
last
you want.
two sentences?
Yeah.
Holy cow, I think I counted like 12. Mr. R&B, what a potty mouth on you, sir.
Well, for tonight, I selected this is the Hemingway Signature. Really nice, good flavor, smooth, not too strong, not too light. Yeah, not a bad aftertaste.
I got a
Really good.
Flavors Cherry Bomb.
Yeah, sure smells a little bit like
Cherry
those
bombs. Yeah, I
Swisher
need
Sweets.
flavor.
And do you ever try to smoke a cigar
does-
and the lighter just doesn't work?
What?
I think I'm going to have to rub some sticks together.
Yeah.
I think I need to rub sticks together or,
Oh,
create a spark somehow.
You need to
Just-
tap the ash off the end of the old cigar first.
Yep.
But look at that. Look at the lighter.
Seriously?
Oh, there we go.
I
There we
was
go.
like, what?
You
I
were using
swear
the
to
wrong
God.
finger.
Yeah. You got to use that middle finger. Yeah, but
The struggle is real trying to light a cigar with ashes on it. Boy, I'm new at
man.
this, but we're all.
good flavor cigars though. You guys got time? Come check out Prohibition out on Broadway here. It's a chill lounge. They got TVs. You can kick back, relax, do your homework, work on your business, whatever. They have darts. You can even play poker up here. So they got poker chips. They got
Gaming tables.
yeah. So it's a vibe. I would say this is my man cave. This is how I would want my man cave to look like.
Right, it's kind of dimly lit where
Yeah.
you just want to come here and just kind of chill out a little bit.
Yeah.
They even have lockers here that are available. I think you can rent them, to keep, if you have
Stash your stuff.
Sure, if you have, certain cigars that you want to keep in there. Or...
Yeah, me and Ben came here, and Ben fell asleep on the couch. We just bought some cigars. Hey, you want to go to Prohibition? I think we were at Fug Coma across the street, and then we were like, hey, you want to go smoke a cigar? And I'm like, all right. Yeah. Ben was in his moment, and he was just laying down on that couch like a bear.
You had a food coma. Did you guys order some bourbon or whiskey too?
Yeah, I ordered what was it? I just got some Jameson on the rocks, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably
So-
why he had the food coma. Then came here and then
I
with
was
the
good.
alcohol.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, listen, that's our first segment here on Asians and Caucasians on Location, Episode 3 from the Prohibition Spirits and Cigar Lounge located in the heart of the Broadway district in downtown Green Bay. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Asians and Caucasians on Location from Prohibition Spirit and Cigar Lounge in the hearth of downtown Green Bay in the Broadway district. At this point, we do have a public service announcement. However, wanted to inform our listeners out there that this is a trigger warning. This is a trigger warning as we're going to be briefly mentioning the topic of suicide and mental health struggles. If this is something triggering for you, we recommend that you either turn us off here momentarily or take a break here for the next minute or two, as this is a trigger warning as we are going to be talking about suicide. Many of you may not know that Mental Health Awareness Week is approaching October 1st through the 7th. We all know that mental illness affects millions of people every day throughout the year worldwide. Mental illness does not discriminate and affects all ages, ethnicities, genders, and socioeconomic groups. Mental Illness Awareness Week was established 33 years ago in 1990 through the efforts of the National Alliance on Mental Illness to educate and increase awareness about mental illness. This could be anything from anxiety, depression, addiction, emotional, physical, and other forms of abuse. Now, if you are suffering, please know you are not alone. I myself have struggled with mental illness for more than 20 years. I'm not perfect, not anyone who walks this earth is perfect. We all need help at some point in our lives in a variety of ways. No one gets through this life solely on their own. Therefore, if you are struggling mentally, you can call or text the number 988. Again, that number is 988. No matter where you are in the United States, 24 hours a day, 7 days per week. Reach out if you or someone you know is having mental health difficulties or maybe having suicidal thoughts. This can be an absolutely life-saving number, 988. Also, you can also call 911 if you are in crisis as well, day or night, if you are in need of help while enduring a mental health crisis. We'll be right back with more Asians and Caucasians on Location in just a moment. Welcome back to Asians and Caucasians on Location from Prohibition Spirit and Cigar Lounge in the heart of the Broadway district in downtown Green Bay. Once again, we want to give a shout out to the fine folks here at Prohibition for allowing us to record this podcast here this week.
Yes, sir.
As you normally know, for our regular listeners out there, we normally broadcast from the Urban Cultural Arts and Events Center in Green Bay, but we decided to take our show on the road this week to get to know some of the fine business owners and businesses located within Green Bay and Northeast Wisconsin. Last week, if you remember in our previous episode, episode 2, we talked about a special fundraising effort that we had at the Urban Cultural Arts and Events Center in Green Bay, and Mr. R&B has a fantastic update for us.
All right, so yeah, we had a silent auction so it was a remembrance for Big Bro Tommy Boy at the center, where he poured his heart and his time into the center. We wanted to give a big shout out to everybody who came through to support, and as well as wanted to thank all the performers and the donators. Man, it was a vibe. You got favorite brands, EJ Tree, RRTUT, the Poetic MC, which we heard a couple pieces. If you guys want to check them out as well, they did do a couple poems and whatnot dedicated to Tommy Boy. So there's Sienna, Natalie, Miranda, and her mom, Elle, and as well as Lee the Hulk donated pieces to the center for the event. So we appreciate all you guys who came through, and it went really good and successful. So thank you guys.
Thanks to everybody who did show up and those who donated really beautiful artwork that was available for auction last Tuesday. Really impressive, but most importantly, keeping the memory alive of a dear friend of not only the show, but also many in this room, Tommy Boy. All right, well, let's change gears, and thank you so much for that update, Mr. R&B. One of the new segments that we're going to be introducing here on Asians and Caucasians is taking a look at some of the shows, taking a look at some of the movies that are out there. What are people talking about in pop culture? And Fonzie,
Yes.
can you elaborate just a little bit on what we're looking for from those who are so gracious and listening to this podcast?
I don't know. I've always been into movies and TV shows and such. Like, there's many things I watch. A lot of old movies, things like that, and new stuff too. Like, a few years ago, Squid Game came out. That's something everybody was into. Game of Thrones. For a while, like Dexter. Recently is like a Extraordinary Attorney Woo. K-dramas are really big. Anime has been out for the longest time. Naruto.
So these are movies and shows that we will be doing reactions to, kind of just taking a moment to watch. And definitely, I think we're going to have our friend Ben part of this too, because
Yes.
his ass love to... He's a big cinema guy, so...
Yes. And plus it'd be something a little bit lighter, so we're not always talking about Packers losses and wins or things in the community
That's
and
my
such, but
sensitive
also
spot.
show us our little bit lighter side of things that we enjoy, so you can also see and hear from what we like. And plus there's a big cultural difference and things like that from what I like versus what Mr. R&B
Yes.
and P-rizz likes, so that way you can kind of like see, hey, I've seen this movie, what do you think? And then sometimes they've seen something that I haven't, and vice versa. So
And a lot of the topics that we discuss on here, we've covered a wide variety. Dating, we've talked about mental health awareness, we've talked about the Packers. And as much as there are cultural differences, there are a lot of cultural similarities.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. So, yeah, you guys got to stay tuned. We're going to be bringing some more people, some guests on here, so kind of doing reaction videos and getting everybody involved with us too. So it's not just Asian and Caucasians, but plenty more.
And plus it'd be great because we know what we've liked and what we see, but also as the viewers and subscribers, what have you watched? What do you guys suggest for us to see? Like, we have an Asian Caucasian background, but we love many different movies. We watch K-dramas. If you've never seen Enter the Dragon, you've never seen Taken, things like that, let us know.
Let us know.
Sure, the show is named, Asians and Caucasians, but we know that this, as we mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, Asians and Caucasians is an all-inclusive weekly podcast that digs into real-life issues and topics faced in today's world. So that's not just limited itself to Asians and Caucasians. Last week we had a Chilean on.
Oh, yes, definitely.
And we'll have lots of friends with the show who can not only share their insights, but also maybe share some differences, maybe some cultural differences and cultural similarities that may be out there that might be really interesting to realize once again just how small this world is, and that we're probably far more related than we ever imagined.
Yeah, so we've mentioned some TV shows and movies that we've liked, but again, you, as the viewers, please feel free to suggest anything. Like, I've seen Thelma and Louise, but I don't think Mr. R&B and I have seen Taken, but we mentioned P-rizz here. He's never seen Taken. He has no idea what that is.
Right, I'm really inept when it comes to watching shows here in the last several years, which certainly could add to the podcast too, because I have no clue. You know, when people ask me about certain shows, I'm like, what is that? Just because I feel like I'm really lost because I don't really have a lot of time to watch.
That's the best energy though to have to watch a movie or a show though, because when you watch it over and over and over, you're just like, I already know what's gonna happen. But to have that, like, all right, what the hell's gonna happen next? That's me.
The shock value is going to be.
I want to be that.
Definitely something you'll want to tune into, just because I'm going to be maybe blindsided by some of the things and characters and situations that they're involved in.
Oh,
And
man.
even like new shows that come out. So like anything that comes out that we haven't seen yet, but we want to review, we want to see.
Name
let
one.
us know.
Can you name one?
Something I haven't seen yet. Oh, I haven't seen Barbie.
Okay.
Ken and Barbie. No, I haven't seen it. Ben's seen it.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty
a lot
good.
of people haven't seen it. It was a pretty big hit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that parking lot was filled at the Bay Parks cinemas though.
And Oppenheimer. I mean, I heard that was really big too. But Ben
What is
and
that?
Ken and Barbie and Oppenheimer, they're like the different ends of the spectrum.
Oh,
Exactly.
Oppenheimer is the movie about how they came up with the nuclear bombs that they dropped on Japan.
And a star-studded
Oh,
cast
man.
with Robert Downey.
Yes.
Junior?
that's in the theaters right now.
It's also it came out the same
Oh.
weekend
And
that
3
Ken and Barbie
hours
did.
long. That was kind of a deterrent for me where I thought 3 hours? I don't have 3 free hours of time. I'd fall asleep. They'll be like, sir, you must leave. You were snoring.
So we may start out with TV series and dramas and things like that, which are only like 30, 45
Yeah.
minutes long.
Right, we'll take a deep dive into Three's Company.
That's hilarious. I love that. But I don't
Boy,
think
that Jack Tripper certainly is something, isn't
See,
he?
that would be something new to me.
that'd
see?
be something Mr. R&B's not
I'd be like, what the
familiar
heck are
with.
we watching?
We could always go back to Happy Days. Hey.
Right, we talked about Happy Days in our initial podcast and Pinky
Oh, man.
Pescadero.
Which is from Happy Days and not from Grease.
And thank you for admitting to that.
I was
Mr.
misled.
Fonzie.
I'm an old man, so my memories got a little, discombobulated there.
And nobody's perfect, self included.
definitely not me.
Self-included, not perfect.
I'm not old. I've just made a lot more mistakes than you all have. So again, that's a news segment that we're going to be introducing. So feel free.
Or maybe
let us know
even-
what you want.
Yep, and food too.
Oh yeah, so we want to
do
do food
food.
reviews too.
Food.
Mm-hmm.
So like first time tasting. P-rizz right there. That's what we're gonna do. Throw you into the first time tasting of Asian foods.
Oh yes.
So
Oh,
yeah.
I have eaten Asian food.
We're gonna-
We'll see.
You've never had long sausage.
Papaya salad.
Oh yes, papaya salad.
Yeah, because and then we'll just we'll have EMS just waiting out back, just in
No.
case something really bad happens.
Only one pepper. Don't worry. Even that's too much for Mr. R&B.
We got some.
His spice level is
I'll
pretty
bring
low.
some Tums in case for you and me. That's it. So
I'll just sit back and laugh.
It hurts. Yeah. So
Awesome! I can't wait to try that. Now that you said it's excruciating pain, boy, can't wait to be a part of that.
we'll have
It's
we'll
food,
definitely
it's
have
not
EMS.
painful.
We'll have EMS on the side just in case. So
This is
speed
nothing
dial.
like ghost peppers or that one chip challenge. This is yummy, tasty food.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, right.
Well, let's talk about that.
I gave it up. So,
Yeah. Oh, that's encouraging.
but P-rizz,
I
try
broke
it.
out in hives after eating that. That's why I decided not to eat anymore. But
Papaya
here, we'll
salad
let
is
P-rizz.
excellent.
All right, P-rizz, go and take us out, man.
All right. Well, this will do it for us this week here, Asians and Caucasians, on location from Prohibition Spirit and Cigar Lounge in the hearth of downtown Green Bay's Broadway district. We once again thank the fine folks for allowing us to broadcast here on location this week, and be sure to join us next week for episode 4 of Asians and Caucasians from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Hasta la vista.
We're out.